Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Abhyuday IIT Bombay, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's event. I am Samyak Jain, Events Manager at Abhyuday IIT Bombay, as your host for the day. Today, we all have gathered here to know more about what social entrepreneurship is. How can one take a step towards the journey of an idea to its impact in our society? Why is there a need of social entrepreneurship in today's fast moving world? To answer many such questions, we have with us our special guest for the event, Mr. Kalpit Veerwal. Hello, Kalpit, sir. Abhyuday IIT Bombay welcomes you.
Hi, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you, sir. Let me give our audience a brief introduction about our guest, Mr. Kalpit Veerwal. Mr. Kalpit Veerwal is the founder and CEO of AcadBoost Group, a company that provides online education, software services, and content for school and college students. The offerings range from exam preparation to skill learning to financial and mental health education. He is an alumnus of IIT Bombay who graduated with a bachelor's in computer science and engineering in 2021. He was the first person ever to score 360 out of 360 marks in the JEE main examination as a 17-year-old. He likes to mentor students on YouTube about JEE, college, computer science, entrepreneurship, career, etc. We are thrilled to have you here, sir. Our audience is eager to listen to your enriching words. Over to you, sir.
Hi, thank you for that warm introduction, Samyak. Today I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship and specifically social entrepreneurship. That what is it all about, how you can start it, what are the benefits, and overall a general roadmap of how you should go about it. So first of all, you have to understand what social entrepreneurship actually means. Okay, social entrepreneurship basically means you are doing some kind of a business activity where you are not just doing it for yourself, but you are also doing it for some kind of a social cause. Some of the big social causes can include education, it can include environment, and so on. Okay, there are so many waste management and a lot of other things which you can think about. Now, how to go about social entrepreneurship? So one thing which you must understand here when you talk about social entrepreneurship is that it is not a journey. Okay, it is an end goal. Okay, and this is very contrarian to what you actually might have heard about entrepreneurship. And the reason why this exists is because the word, if you consider the word itself, social entrepreneurship, okay, it is slightly contrarian in nature. Why is it so? Because it combines social work with entrepreneurship. Social work is all about doing something for the benefit of society, and entrepreneurship is, or if we talk purely in terms of like pure entrepreneurship, pure business, it's all about maximizing your profits. We have to go somewhere in between when it comes to social entrepreneurship, and you cannot start with that in your mind. You have to start as one of either. You can either start as a social worker or you can start as an entrepreneur, and then you can converge your path towards being a social entrepreneur. Let me give you an example because this definition might have confused a lot of you. So let's say you are someone who's starting some kind of a non-profit organization which is helping people get donations. There are a lot of websites of this kind. You can look them up. Now you start off probably as a single person. Okay, you are someone who is trying to collect donation for someone in your neighborhood. You're trying to collect donation for one single hospital, something like that. Okay, not something at a big scale. However, you have a limited amount of money, and B, you cannot scale it alone. You need some capital, you need some employees, you need some marketing and all of that stuff. So you cannot do that just by doing charity. Okay, so there's only so much you can do by giving out a percentage of your salary. You need to scale it up, and for that you need to set up a proper business model around it so that your venture can have a profit, so that it can pay its employees and all of its expenses, and then use the leftover money to expand the cause, right? So that is how you will proceed if you want to go from a social worker to a social entrepreneur. You start off as a single individual who is doing some social work, and then you pivot to a social entrepreneur. This is one path which you can take. Second path which you can take is something like you start off purely as a business, as a profit motivated individual. You don't think of the society for some years. You gather enough money, and then once you have that amount of money, then you can start a social product as well. So there are quite a few companies who do this. Even I, to a certain extent, AcadBoost is also involved in this. So we started off with online courses for competitive exams, and now we also give out scholarships and a lot of free content which will help those who are not able to get quality education online, right? So this was a pivot from a company, a profit motivated business, entrepreneurial venture, purely entrepreneurial venture, towards something which is somewhere in between. So one mistake which a lot of you can do is to start as one of either. You don't want to start off as either a social worker, nor do you want, sorry, you don't want to start off somewhere in between. You want to start either as a social worker, or you want to start as an entrepreneur and then converge. Okay. Now, this was about how you go about it, but a deeper question is, why should one even opt for being a social entrepreneur? Why should you care about social work? Okay, because that is not what entrepreneurship is about. When you think of entrepreneurship, when you think of people who are billionaires or people who have big companies, and there you don't think of charity, you don't think of doing something for the society. Okay, your focus is on the business side of things. So why would anyone want to go from there to this? Okay, so to understand this, first of all, you have to become an entrepreneur. Okay, you have to first of all start making some money in order to understand what having a higher purpose is actually like. Okay, so once you get to a certain amount of wealth in your life, so when you're young, when you're in your college first year, second year, then you have certain money goal, you have certain financial goals, and it is perfectly fine to have those. Okay, everyone should have those goals in their mind, because you cannot start out doing just social work, just social entrepreneurship when you're very young. Okay, you need some money to thrive, you have to grow in your own life as well, which is perfectly fine. But once you reach a certain amount of wealth, a certain amount of income, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so for some people it could be 1 lakh rupees per month, for some people it could be 2 lakh rupees per month, for some people it can be different. But whatever that amount is, once you reach that particular amount in your life, your business starts making that much amount of revenue, it starts making a certain amount of traction, you have basically accomplished your business goals, your business dreams, then things become a bit bland. Okay, this happened even with me when I started out AcadBoost when I was 18, 19 years old. I was just a teenager then, and never did I imagine that it would become as big as it is right now. Okay, so once we reached a certain revenue target, okay, I have earned this much amount of money, my company has this much amount of money, and all of that was sorted out. After that, things became a bit boring because there's only so much you can do with money. At some point you start to think of having a higher purpose, that how you can help the wider society in general. Okay, and that is where the whole concept of social entrepreneurship is really, really good. Okay, because you are making money, yes, that is great. You have your freedom of doing your own business, of doing your own startup, that is great. But also along with that, you don't have to feel bad ki, okay, I'm the only one making money, I'm not doing anything for the society, because now you are doing something for everyone. Okay, so it is a really good thing for people who want to make money but not like bucket loads, and they if you are the kind of person who likes to serve people, who likes to help others, then it is great. Now you might ask that I can do the same in a job as well, I can do the same via a corporate job, or I can be an academy, I can be an academic, I can be a professor, I can be a teacher, and all of those are great. You can be a doctor, all of those are extremely great. I'm not saying that any of that is bad, but as I said before, there's only so much you can do as a single individual. Okay, you need to have a team, you need to have lots of people around you so that you can scale everything you do. So let me ask you, what has a bigger impact? Okay, you are 20 years old and you become a full-time social worker, you join an NGO and you spend your life till 60 years old in that particular NGO and you don't do anything else. Yes, you are doing a great work, yes, you are doing a good for the society, but a much, much, much better approach would have been to start a social entrepreneurial venture. Okay, using the procedure I told you in the first half of this session. And businesses grow exponentially. Okay, if you have a startup, it grows exponentially. And when you are, let's say, 40, 50, 60, you start out something small at the age of 20, because many of you are just college students, right? So you start out something very, very small at the age of 20. Let's say you start a business where if people pay online, then you will plant a tree to save paper cash, something like that. Okay, I'm giving a very rough idea here. So if you start something like this when you're 20, it will eventually scale. And by the time your venture is 20 years old, 30 years old, you would have planted millions of trees. You would have saved tons of CO2 emission on Earth, and you would have made a lot of money for yourself as well. So it is good for both the society as well as for you. This is why social entrepreneurship is such a lucrative thing these days. Now some of the ideas, how does one go about it? Okay, so I'll just take a deep dive into the ins and outs of how to work towards something, towards a startup which also serves a social goal, because that is something which I've been doing. I didn't realize I was doing it until this event came in, and I thought, okay, this is what actually I am doing as well. Okay, so I'll give a rough blueprint about it. First of all, the idea. Now this is where a lot of people have really great misconceptions, even after the amount of knowledge which is put online about it. Your idea, it does matter to a certain extent. Some people say that ideas don't matter. Ideas do matter. Okay, execution matters far more, but you need to have a decent idea. Now, what a lot of people do wrong here, especially the IIT types or especially the engineer type students, is they try to come up with the next big idea, that think of a new idea. I will do something new. I will do something revolutionary. And while that sounds good, there are quite a few problems with it. First of all, you don't know if it will work or not. Okay. Second, you probably don't have the finances to make something new and bring a completely new thing into the world. And third, you probably don't have the network and experiences it takes. Okay. So you have to understand that you need to have a certain financial backing before you can go towards the bigger tasks. Okay. So for now, you shouldn't go after the big ideas, chasing the next big thing. Don't go after that. What you should go after is an idea that works, an idea that you know is profitable, an idea that you know is sustainable. Okay. Almost all businesses which I've tried and those who have been successful are ideas that are very simple. If you look at AcadBoost, everything we do, so we have a division which is purely about JE courses. Okay, JE courses, NEET courses, and class 9 to 12 courses. So that is a very simple idea. Lots of people are doing it. It's a proven field. It's something that works. It's something that I can do. It's something that I already have an upper edge in. So that will work. The second business which I have as a part of AcadBoost is the AcadBoost University, which was recently launched. So what do we do? We have online courses for college students, which is again an idea that is proven to work. It is an idea which is probably not the biggest idea, but it will work. Okay, it will give you a platform to work on bigger things. Okay, so you have to start small. You have to start with ideas which might sound boring, but that will build you a platform, that will build you a base. Once your base is ready, you can launch newer things. Okay, so for example, the first product which I had was a simple JE crash course. Nothing cool, nothing very exciting, a simple thing. But slowly things like as the product grew, as more revenues came in, I scaled it to a different thing. Okay, then new things were launched, and now we are trying to do different things which have not been tried before. Okay, so this is how you actually go about things. Start with something which works, start with something that will give you a certain level of financial freedom, and then you can scale your ideas. Okay, and what I would advise to young student is that don't even think of the social part for now. Okay, don't even think about how it will impact the society for now. Okay, obviously don't do something which is bad for society, but don't think about the welfare of society right now, because before going and doing the welfare of others, we need to make sure that we are ourselves set. Okay, scale that product, and once your work is done and you're doing great, yes, we will go towards helping others, we will do that. Okay, but later on, first of all, we have to make sure that our own company, our own business is itself sustainable. Okay, so that was a bit about the ideation part. The second thing which you have to do is execution, and 90% of execution is marketing. Okay, how you are going to let everyone know of the wonderful thing which you have built. Okay, so here also a lot of people who are from engineering background especially fail. So a lot of people which and I've encountered this kind of people a lot in IIT especially. They think that if they can code an app, if they can design a website, that is our startup. Startup ho gaya. Now we know everything. And yes, product is important. You need to know how to code. You need to know all of that is absolutely great, and I appreciate it. but most things fail because they are not marketed well. So whatever your platform is, whatever you're building, let's say you're building a platform which is related to donations. Okay, since we are talking about social entrepreneurship, we are building a product which is related to collecting donations of people. Okay, so there are a lot of websites which do that these days. It's quite a popular social entrepreneurial business idea. So you're building that kind of a website. So here the website itself is not important. Okay, there are millions of clones you can find on GitHub, and you can just copy paste it and you can launch it. What is important is, will people use my websites? Will people come on it, make donations? Will they trust it enough that you are going to make the donation which they have made into the bank account of the person who is needing the money? That is what is going to ensure if your startup is going to work or not, right? So work on the marketing, work on where you're going to get your customers from. Let's say if you're someone who's trying to start an education business. So in my case, most of the people who were initially enrolled in AcadBoost were from my own YouTube channel. Okay, I used to make a lot of JE videos, academic videos. I do that even right now. So that is a big part of our revenue right now. Like a big part of the revenue comes from the YouTube channel. There are also many other channels for us and for other companies as well. There's affiliate marketing, there's blogging, there's SEO, a lot of other things. You can also do paid marketing. So try to find a way to sustainably bring people to your product. Okay, if you are launched a website, then find out who might be needing it. So if you have created a website that helps people donate food, let's say, or something which helps people work towards animal sheltering, some, let's say you have some stray dogs and you want to build something for them. Okay, so you should find someone who actually deals with this stuff. So go to an animal shelter, go to your, like, find a directory and find out the people in your city involve who are in this stuff. Contact them, tell them about your website, tell them about meet, set up a meeting. So this is how you go about it. Find out a sustainable way to bring more customers to your platform, and then uh, work on scaling it. Okay, this was about how you execute, 90% of which is marketing. Everything else, you guys are engineers, you guys are IITians, or even if you are not, even if you're not an IITian, most of you are probably engineering students. So you know how to build. I don't have to tell you guys how to do that. Okay. What I needed to tell you was to focus on marketing, which I've already done. I know you will find out great teams that all that part you'll sort out. One more thing which you need to work on, especially if you are going to enter the social entrepreneurship route, is to figure out your business model. Okay, this is again something which a lot of people get wrong. So in every business you do, 80% of your revenue will come from one particular stream. Okay, this is how every business works. So if you look at, let's say, Google, even for them, more than 95% of their revenue profit, I don't remember what the exact numbers were, it comes from just their advertising business. It doesn't come from the sale of their Pixel phones. It doesn't come from the sale of their Android and all of that OS and stuff. It comes from advertising. Similarly, if you look at Facebook, they have a lot of products, but most of them will come from, let's say, Instagram. Okay, or from the Facebook ad network. Okay, even in case of AcadBoost, there are certain business verticals which provide most of the revenue. So you have to figure out what is that particular thing which is working out for you. If you're building a donation website, should you collect a percentage cut from the donors? Should you collect a percentage cut from the receiver? Or should you should you take the percentage cut from people who are supplying the donations? Okay, so I know a company, I won't reveal the name of it, who don't cut any fee from the supplier or the donor. So sorry, from the donor or the receiver. They have a donation platform. They take money, so they make money by cutting money from the sellers, from the people who provide the donation amount. So some people provide money for food, okay, and then they contact a particular seller who is a wholesaler of food. They take it at a discounted rate and then they provide it to the needy. So that is where they make money. So be clear about how you're going to make money and figure it out early. So once you have all these three things fixed, you have your idea, you have your marketing fixed, and you know where you're going to make money from, that you have your business up and running. Okay. So don't forget the first point which I said in this talk. If you're going to take away one point, then make it that you cannot be a social entrepreneur right now. You either have to go social or you either have to go business. You cannot do both of them right now. Once you are doing well in both of them, converge them and make it a social entrepreneurial venture. Otherwise, you might have to fail like a lot of companies have already done. Okay. So a lot of companies who are in the this energy sector, okay, they have collapsed because of this very reason. They were trying to solve a social problem and they had business motives in mind. So either have a business motive, which is completely fine, and then go social later on once you have enough money, or go social and once you need to scale, try to make a sustainable business model around it so that you can scale your venture faster. So yeah, that is a bit about social entrepreneurship. It's not very detailed, I know, because I wanted to give you a very rough overview of how to go about it. I hope you try out different businesses and keep on trying them. Every 6 months, try to start a different venture. If it works, great. If it fails, try another one, and you will definitely get there in a few years' time. Okay. So yeah, that was my talk. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was really a very insightful talk, Kalpit sir. I'm sure that our audience has gained a deep perspective, not at least deep, a bit idea about what exactly social entrepreneurship is and how can they take a step towards it. So
Thank
now
you.
it's the time, yeah. Now it's the time to take some questions from our audience, and audience can feel free to type in their questions in the chat box. I'll read it out one by one, and then Kalpit sir can answer them. Okay, I guess we'll wait for audience to type in their questions. Till then, I have some questions in my mind. I guess they may be common with the questions of audience, and let's start with those then. So, my
Okay.
first question to you is: at what point during your computer science undergraduate degree did you decide that you want to pursue entrepreneurship, or have you decided
Okay.
it early before?
Yeah, so it was not really a decision, it was more of a transition. So I am not the kind of person who makes very rigid plans. I just go with the flow. And when I was in my second year, I just started my YouTube channel out of absolutely nowhere. Okay, there was just one person before me in the entire campus who had a YouTube channel. Now there are a lot of people who have their YouTube channels in IIT, but then I was one of the pioneers of this whole thing. I started my YouTube channel. It was very awkward because no one around me was doing it, and it grew. A lot of people came to watch it, and then it grew even more. I launched the first course, which I told you about. It did really well, and at a certain point, I was making enough that I didn't really have to sit for placement. So it was not really a decision. It was more of a gradual process, and then things scaled, and before I graduated it was doing well enough that I didn't need to sit for placements. That is how it would go. I'm not the kind of person who would say ki, okay, I don't want to sit for placement just for the sake of it. If this financial need was probably not met, I probably wouldn't have. But then again, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to, I like to do my own thing, and I like to I'm not really the kind of person who you can order and tell ki bhai ye kaam kar de and I will do it. I like to do stuff when I like to, and that was one of the reasons I didn't I didn't even sit for any internships or any of that in my entire duration. Zero internships, nothing. So it was kind of inside me ki I don't have to go for a job, but you can consider it a mix of both. Okay, not really a point of time ki at this point I decided ki I want to become an entrepreneur.
Okay, yeah, that was nice. So that was within it itself, not
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay. We have a question from audience. You mentioned you started AcadBoost when you were 18. How were you able to manage your academics with this? So, would you like
Yeah,
to
that is
elaborate?
a very great question. So as I said, most of the business side of Acadbo started when I was in the end of my third year. I was in my sixth semester at that time. So my most of my degree was already done. My sixth semester was really hectic because I had a lot of credits under my belt, and I was also running the company full time at that point. So for one semester, I did struggle a lot, where I had to work for a lot of hours per day, but otherwise it was okay. I didn't take it too fast initially, so that helped. And I took a lot of credits of my IIT degree in my second year itself. Okay, in my third, fourth, and fifth semester, I took a lot of courses in advance. This helped me in two things. First, I didn't have to focus too much on my degree when my company went full time, and second, I could graduate early and focus fully on it. Okay, so academics can be managed if you want to. It's not very difficult, but you will have to compromise. You cannot be a 10 pointer and you cannot have a company as well. You will have to adjust somewhere in the middle. So what I would say is okay is to maybe aim for an 8.5. I did aim for an 8.5, but if you aim for an 8 or even a 7.5, that is perfectly fine. Okay, aim for a GPA enough for you to get a job. Okay, if you are from a good college, then nobody is going to say no to you just because you don't have a good GPA. But if you are especially from a college which is where there are not a lot of companies visiting, then do maintain a GPA of at least 8 or 8.5, and the rest of the time can be dedicated towards your business. Start small and work on it every day, then it won't be very difficult to manage both of those things together. Okay, it's doable, you just have to prioritize things well.
Right. That was right. So there's one more question
Yeah.
uh, from the audience. Why is social entrepreneurship important today? So you covered a part of it in your talk,
Yeah.
but just if you would like to answer it in few words.
See, you don't have to become a social entrepreneur. No one is going to tell you. There are a lot of people who are going to say, "Ki, okay, he's making a lot of money." There are going to be those people, but you don't have to be a social entrepreneur. The thing is that once you start making a lot of money, once your companies start growing, once your business is growing, you will yourself feel the need ki, okay, I should do something beyond myself as well. Okay, that will come naturally out of you. So you don't have to do it, nobody's asking you to do it, but you will yourself have that need inside of you. So the answer to that question can only be discovered once you become an entrepreneur. That is why I said either take one of these paths, either become an entrepreneur and then you will automatically end up becoming a social entrepreneur some way or the other. Okay. I know this answer might sound ridiculous to those who have never done business in their life. They might think, okay, why should I care about others? I should just focus on making money. And yes, you're right now. Okay. If you don't have, if you're someone whose net worth is zero, you are broke, then yes, by all means, focus on starting a business, focus on earning money first. Okay, and once you have that, social entrepreneurship is all about helping others with the money you have. Okay, because at a certain point in life you will have to die, right? And what is the point of having a lot of money if you can't help others with it? Okay, so it doesn't have to be a big, you are starting something, some social entrepreneurship. It doesn't really have to be like that. Okay, if you are someone who succeeds in business or you get a very good job, you can just spend some time every weekend with someone who you think needs your help. You can help educate people. You can just start writing blog posts about anything, okay, just help the society in some way. Okay, it gives a bigger meaning, and that is probably why I think social entrepreneurship is needed today.
Yeah, right. That answers the question, I guess. We have one more question. How to deal with lack of customers or interactors during the early
Yeah.
days? I yeah.
Yeah, actually, that is probably the one single question every business owner should know. The thing is that when you start, you will not have many customers. Okay, and you should learn to be okay with it. Okay, once you start, let's say you take up a job, then you get paid a certain amount of salary per month, but it will be more or less fixed. In business, things don't work like that. It will be something like you start out very small and then it certainly takes a big jump. Okay, that is how it works here. So in my case, I wasn't earning a lot of money until I launched my first course. Okay, before that, I was just surviving on my YouTube revenue, some sponsorships which I was doing on my channel, and all of that. But once I launched my first course, after that, I registered the company and then I started hiring, and then we really scaled into an organization. Okay, so things will come, but you have to struggle for it. One secret to getting customers early on, and the one way to avoid this problem entirely, is to build an audience before you launch your product. Okay, that is what helped me a lot. So I already had an audience on YouTube for related to J preparation, related to college, and I already had those people with me. So I just had to tell those people, ki, okay, I have launched this product. Do you want it? Then automatically you will have sales on day number one. You don't even have to market to anyone if you already have an audience, which is why I believe you all need to. So if you're someone who's interested in finance, then start making some content on finance. Start a YouTube channel, start a blog, start something. Okay, and that is how you can easily gain customers and you can bootstrap your venture. Otherwise, you will have to go for paid ads, which are very expensive today. Okay, so have an audience ready, and you will not have this question of how to find your first customers.
Yeah, that answers the question. Yeah, that was needed. Seeing the time, I guess we'll just have one more question.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So, the last question I would like to ask is, if you had to speak about one thing, what serves as a daily motivation for you to keep
Yeah.
working passionately each and every day?
Okay.
What would be that thing?
Um, According to me, like for if I speak about me, then what really makes me tick is that I'm able to have an impact on the lives of so many people. Okay, so I'm able to help people who work with me. Okay, my employees, my business partners, and all of that. They are having some kind of an income just because I started this thing. Had I not decided to do this, then none of that would have happened. So that is one thing which gives me a lot of meaning. A lot of students find our courses useful. A lot of people, they have been, I recently got this email 2 days back from one of the students who used our college courses, and he mentioned that he was able to get a job using the concepts he learned in that. I also helped him get a job by referring him to a company, and that was a very emotional email, and I was really moved by it. And I thought that, okay, that is such a big and meaningful thing, that in some way I was able to help someone needy get their dream job. Okay, and even when I make my YouTube videos, I see the comments of people, and even in the chat I can see some of the comments, and that is what pushes me a lot, that a lot of people are finding value and finding meaning in what I'm doing. And none of that would have happened had I decided to go to the US as a software engineer. I had that option. That is what a lot of people who graduate from computer science at IIT Bombay do, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you don't do that. You can do that, and but there you are very much behind the scenes. Okay, yes, you are having a positive impact. You, if you work at Google, yes, you are having an impact in supporting even what we are doing right now. Even this live stream is on Facebook, right? So if you work at Facebook, yes, you are enabling all these things. But I think the kind of impact you can do as an entrepreneur, especially if you are a social entrepreneur, is really huge. And if you so even if you are someone who's doing business just for the sake of money, even then you are paying a lot of taxes. You are paying out salaries. You are delivering a product which are helping. Even then you are doing a lot. And even after that, you have a kind of heart to decide to help people for free, to cut down your own pocket so that the society as a whole can be benefited. I think that's amazing. It gives you a lot of good vibes, and it gives you a lot of blessings from those people. Many people don't believe in that, but I do, and I think it is real that if you help people, you will eventually be helped in your own ventures as well. So yeah, that is what motivates me. And you need to find that inside of yourself. Okay, you cannot look up somewhere, or even in this answer you cannot find it from this answer or from anyone's answer. You have to find that answer for yourself, is what I would say.
Yeah. So self awareness is very important to identify what
Yeah,
one's passions. Right.
yeah, that's one great way to sum it up.
Right. Thank you, Kalpit sir, for answering the questions of our audience and also mine. So now it's the big time for the day, the announcement of the day. So to help you take a step towards social entrepreneurship, Abhyuday IIT Bombay is proud to launch its annual flagship competition, Action Plan. Action Plan is a social entrepreneurship challenge that aims at bringing together the brightest minds from college, the best from corporate, the learned from academia, and the experience from NGOs to create a positive impact in society. It is a 5 month long competition happening in three stages. Action plan revolves around three I's mantra, that is, ideate, innovate, and implement. Action Plan provides the platform to develop feasible and optimistic solutions to tackle social issues that bring about grassroots level changes in our society. So that sums up what Action Plan exactly is. Now, I would like you all to have a look at a short video on Action Plan. I'll just share it. So, wasn't it great? It's just amazing. This year's action plan is going to be bigger with bigger prizes worth 15 lakhs. Mentorship, funding opportunities, incubation opportunities, networking opportunities, startup services, media coverage, and many more incentives for every one of you who would like to take part and take a step towards social entrepreneurship. Now, I would request our guest, Kalpit sir, to please give our audience a message on action plan.
Yeah, as someone who has been an alumnus of IIT Bombay, not I have not graduated very recently. I really enjoyed the activities of Abhyuday, and the this year's action plans looks really exciting to me. And it is a very great platform for you to launch your own social entrepreneurial ventures. So I highly recommend you to check it out. Go to the website and register for the event. I'm sure you will learn a lot from it, and who knows, you might even win it, and you will have your social entrepreneurial venture on the go.
Yeah, but thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your words. Now I'll just put the link of the website in the chat. Apart from that, we also have some workshops in October on various aspects of social entrepreneurship, and you all can register for that using the link that I'll just put. And if you have any other queries regarding action plan, you could also fill in there. Our team will reach out to you, and they'll resolve your queries as soon as possible. So please have a look at this. Okay. Thank you, Kalpit sir, for sharing your experience and knowledge about social entrepreneurship and motivating our audience to look upon this wonderful opportunity to take part in Action Plan. I hope our audience has gained a lot of perspective and would surely participate in Action Plan. Thank you to our wonderful audience for being a part of the event. We hope you gained a meaningful perspectives and expect you all to see in the further rounds of Action Plan. So thank you, Kalpit sir. Thank you, audience. So till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye. Thank you.